Hello, everybody. Wolfgang here. Today is Taco Tuesday, and we're not having tacos as usual. Every time I do a video on Taco Tuesday, we never have tacos. It's always something else. Anyway, it is Tuesday, April the 8th, as I ramble right off the bat. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Good, I hope. It was a nice chilly day, sunny day, blue skies. As weather never surprises you. So it's especially in April. Uh, I remember back when I was a kid, we had snow on the ground in April. I'm talking like 10, 11, 12 years old. That was many moons ago. Anyway, so I have to correct myself for my video yesterday when I was talking about the dire wolf. I think I said something like 200,000 years ago. Excuse me. It wasn't that. It was like between 10 and 13,000, or yeah, 10,000 to 13,000 years ago. I think the caveman was still walking around. I don't know. If I make a time machine, I'll go back and check it out, and I'll come back and let you know. Anyway, I'm going to share this article, and just leave a comment and let me know what you think. This is about a 4-minute read, but the way I read, it might go 5. I was going to show a video. It was like a minute and something, but it didn't have the information that is in this article. That's why I chose the article. So instead of me babbling, let's read on. As it scrolls down on me, it says, dire wolf revived after 10,000 years due to biotech companies' de-extinction process. This is brought to you by Metamycil Fiber Gummies. In a scientific breakthrough that could forever change how humans interact with our planet, Colosso Bioscience said it has brought back an extinct animal that last walked the earth roughly 10,000 years ago, the dire wolf. The US-based biotechnology company is also known for its ambitious goal of bringing back the extinct woolly mammoth by 2028. And there's a picture of the wolf pup. They actually have 3. I think I read. It says Colosso also said it had cloned 4 red wolves, a critically endangered animal with under 2 dozen thought to be left in the wild. We're not a foundation. We're not a nonprofit. We are not an academic think tank. We are trying to actually develop products and build technologies. Ben Lamb, the company's CEO and co-founder, told ABC News. Colosso says its investors include Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Paris Hilton, and Peter Jackson. In March, the company revealed the woolly mouse. I do remember seeing that one. A new type of mouse with a thicker coat of fur modeled after the woolly mammoth. ABC News was given exclusive access to Colossal's Dallas, Texas laboratory, where the dire wolf went from an idea to reality. I had all the confidence that this was going to work, Beth Shapiro, Colosso's chief scientist, told ABC News. And there's a picture of the dire wolf. So apparently they've been doing this behind closed doors for a while for the size of that wolf. Anyway, Shapiro's team had to extract more dire wolf DNA from 2 existing fossils to better sequence the animal's genome. From there, Colosso elected to use a close relative of the dire wolf as the base. We've taken a gray wolf genome, or gray wolf cell, which is already genetically 99.5% identical to dire wolves because they're very closely related, Shapiro said. And we've edited those cells as multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the dire wolf version of the DNA. Shapiro's team used surrogate dogs, which have since been adopted through the Humane Society, to help give birth to the dire wolves, and Colosso says no animals were harmed in the process. 2 of the dire wolves were born late last year, while the third arrived in early 2025. The older pair are named Romulus and Remus, after the mythological founders of Rome. Hopefully I said their names right. Who are traditionally depicted as being suckled by the she-wolf. Ah, I know that statue. The youngest one is named Khaleesi, after a character from the fantasy show Game of Thrones, in which dire wolves play a major role. I'd never even watched Game of Thrones. All three lives in a secure 2,000-acre nature preserve at an undisclosed location, Jurassic Park. So when I saw them born and they were white, I was like, we've done it, Shapiro said. Those are dire wolves. Not everyone is convinced Dr. Julie McKean has made studying wolves for her life's work and was a co-author along with Shapiro on a 2021 paper that concluded dire wolves and gray wolves derived millions of years ago. McCain is impressed with Colossal's announcement but remains skeptical. I don't think there are actually dire wolves. I don't think what we have is dire wolves, McCain told ABC News. What we had is something new. We have a mostly gray wolf that looks like a dire wolf. Shapiro disagrees with that thinking. I think the best definition of a species is if it looks like that species, if it is acting like that species, if it's filling the role of that species, then you've done it, she said. The wolf field is a small one, and McCain and Shapiro are working together on an upcoming research paper about dire wolves. But McCain is not paid by or advising Colossal. She wonders if Colossal's efforts would be better spent on keeping the animals left on Earth alive. Is this for purely entertainment purposes? She asked. The mission of helping to preserve the species that are alive and save them from the brink of extinction is an incredible, admirable mission. That is a mission that I could get behind 100%. And I'm kind of with her on that one. Colosso hopes its Red Wolf program is just the beginning of a broader effort to do just that. This sort of technology, as it becomes more widely available, is going to have tremendous benefits across biodiversity conservation, Shapiro told ABC News. The state of North Dakota has also invested in Colosso, with an eye on helping to the state to save its dwindling bison population. Those are some pretty wolves, though. Lame, Colossal's CEO and co-founder, also hopes that its technology can one day help human healthcare in a meaningful way. With the race on to produce scientific breakthroughs, Dr. Robert Klitzman, a bioethicist and a geneticist, as Columbia University, cautioned that it's important to carefully consider the impact of tinkering with the ecosystem. So one wants to be careful if you're mucking around with genes, that there may be things we don't understand, Klitzman told ABC News. You may produce a wolf that's twice as ferocious. You may produce a super wolf, or a super rat, or a super mouse. Mighty Mouse. If you're playing with the mice and rats, for instance, that eats everything in sight. Despite the concerns, Klitzman still believes Colossal's technology could offer benefits if used properly. Keyword, if. If there's an animal that we humans killed off and there are no more such animals and they have a place to live where they can go back into their wild environment and thrive, he said. Colosso continues full steam ahead of its goal of reviving the woolly mammoth in 3 years, with Chief Scientist Shapiro saying it is just as risky to not use their technology breakthroughs. If we decide as a society that these new technologies that are at our fingertips are too risky, that we don't want to make the chance, that we're not going to try to save species by implementing genetic engineering types of technology. That is a choice that also carries consequences, she said. Okay, so let me go back on this last paragraph. It says, if we decide as a society, they didn't include us in this scientific experiment. So when they say, if we decide, are we going to vote on, do we get to vote? Do we get to say, hey, you can't do that? They already did it. So why would they say society? That means us. Or is it the scientist society group? Maybe that's what they mean. I don't know. I love the wolf, hence my name. But messing around with something like this, I don't know. I said yesterday it's kind of cool on one hand. On the other hand, I'm not too sure. But we'll see how this one plays out. And in 2028, if they announce that they have a woolly mammoth, it's going to be Jurassic Park. That's my opinion. Anyway, this is Wolfgang. I hope everybody has a great Tuesday evening. Blessed be, stay safe, and I'll bullshit with y'all later. Bye.